Ooh, we are officially live. Hello. Hi, Sabrina. Hi, Elisa. Hi, Olive. Yes. Ooh. Sabrina asks, how is everybody feeling today? Yes. Please let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if you guys can see me. Let me know in the chat. Ooh. Unfortunately, because we're using YouTube, I can't quite use music. I really wanted to. It's a little bit of a dance to go around in order to play music because of copyrights. But if I had music, I would absolutely be like dancing and just like getting it. Awesome. Thank you, Olive. I am so incredibly excited, you guys. Our last boot camp that we just did back in May was absolutely phenomenal. Like the things that people were manifesting into their lives, into their careers, the confidence that they gained from the 5 days, it was really empowering and it was really humbling, to be honest, to see what people got out of the boot camp last time. And so my team and I have decided to do these a lot more often. So that's why we only went 2 months with the time period in between this one from the last one. And we will continue doing them often as well. And I'm just like so excited to continue to offer this boot camp. We actually, for those of you that might be a little bit newer to the What It Takes community and the What It Takes platform, we have actually been conducting and hosting makeup challenges for the last like 6 or 7 years, ever since 2015, which is really bizarre. It's so crazy how long ago that was, like really crazy. So essentially over time, they have evolved into more than just a makeup challenge. Before, we actually had a lot of like makeup artistry as a component. It was a really big part of it. But now, because it is so evident that being a successful makeup artist, it doesn't end with good artistry or how awesome or how talented you are. It has everything to do with your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and also your mindset and your marketing skills. All of those go hand in hand with the success of you as an artist. Artistry skills are great and everything, but that's not even half. I would say it's like 25% of the battle, not even half the battle. So I'm really proud to say that I have been able to develop something that is so incredibly, special to me, and offer it to as many makeup artists around the world as I possibly can. So you guys are in for a real treat. It's going to be great. Some of you guys are actually coming back from the last time because you want even more, from like you couldn't even get enough. So it's really exciting to see some of you guys that are taking this again. Yeah, Olive says Rocky running up the stairs music would be good right now. Totally. Hello, Samika. Hello, Mia. It's so exciting to see you guys here live. So today is day 1. And as you probably already know, today is all about mindset. All right. And I'm going to get into this in a second, but I do have some announcements before I begin the actual session. First and foremost, as you pretty much already know, every single day that we do the live trainings, it's live at 5:30 Pacific time, 8:30 Eastern time. And if you just so happen to be in, international, unfortunately, like just there is a website called timeconverter.com or something like that, timezoneconverter.com. Just pop it in there and it'll be really easy to convert. Unfortunately, to like convert every single time zone, it's a little it's a lot. So a lot on the brain. It's a lot to convert every single time zone that is participating. So I chose the 2 prominent ones. A lot of you guys are coming from the West Coast, and a lot of you guys are also coming from the East Coast. So I was like, I'll just do those 2 most common ones. But anyway, every single day I will be going live with the new training. Each day has a different training theme. And then there is a homework / challenge afterwards. Now, I already told you guys this, The homework is for everybody, just so you guys know. However, there is the possibility, not the possibility, but you are eligible to enter your homework challenge each and every night as a paid upgrade to win the daily prizes, okay? So every single one of you, regardless if you were paid or if you jumped on free, whatever, you are eligible to have participated for today's giveaway, all right? And I will be sharing that in a second. And basically from here on out, anybody that enters their homework is essentially totally fine, but the only eligible candidates to win the daily prizes are the ones that are in the upgrade. Now, I want to talk about the upgrade really, really quick because I think it is highly beneficial. Okay, you're going to get so much out of the free version, like the free option, by just showing up every single day and, chatting with the people in the live chat, or, if you're watching the replay, it's still going to be highly valuable. Like, I am fully confident that the content that I have developed over the years is really, really helpful and very, very insightful. So that you're already getting some really great information with that. However, those who upgrade for the $17 upgrade, you get some extra perks, okay? So like I said, the first perk is you get to enter those daily prizes. So the second perk is you get access to the daily workbooks. So today, I'm going to be talking about the daily workbook, day 1, and I'm going to be referencing it, okay? This is actually a printout from yesterday's pre-training workbook. My printer just decided to poop out on me. I was going to print it, but either way, they all pretty much look the same. They just have a different title. And I'll be actually using my digital version. So you'll see me kind of like going back and forth with my pages here. Or not my pages, but my windows in my browser. So the thing about these workbooks is I have been on my self-development journey for quite some time now. And I would say at least 15 years, but more like specifically and more like laser focused for the last 5, maybe 6 years. And I've learned and mentored under some of the biggest manifesting self-development gurus. Currently, I am taking Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi's their course for their whole thing. I've learned from Catherine Zankina, who has Manifestation Babe, like literally so many amazing self-help, self-development gurus or masters, experts, whatever you want to call them. And basically, I've taken their teachings and I have put it into, essentially, it's very condensed. Like, don't get me wrong. It's like definitely handpicked for sure, into these workbooks. Okay. So today is about mindset. Tomorrow's going to be about marketing. But trust me when I say inside that workbook, there's going to be a component of some sort of mindset work that is inside these workbooks. They're highly valuable. And trust me when I say you're going to have a lot of light bulb moments with what comes up in the questions and the journal prompts. And then also inside these workbooks are added like resources and things like that. I'll be referencing some books and possibly some people, and those will have direct links inside those digital workbooks. Okay. So that's that. The other added benefit with the upgrade, the $17 upgrade, is you get access to the accountability mentors. So Sabrina and Elisa, they both have been chatting in the chat right now. They are your accountability mentors, okay? And they will be directly emailing you and communicating with you to hold you accountable. Now, I already mentioned this, but I'm going to repeat myself because it's worth repeating. We are 95% more likely to hit our goals when there is some sort of accountability attached to it outside of ourselves. Who can agree with me? Tell me in the chat, type yes if you agree or if you feel this. How difficult it can be to set these goals that you have for yourself, and you're the only one that's holding yourself accountable. Anybody struggle with that? I know I do. I was talking about this today. It's hard. It is really, really hard. Now, these mentors, these accountability mentors, are here to help you through the next 5 days. Ask you what your goals are, get you excited to be a part of each day's training, whether you can join live or you watch the replay. you are 95% more likely to see your goals through when you have somebody like that in your corner. That is not somebody other than yourself. Yes. Olive says support definitely helps. Samika says, hit that like gang so more folks can like this content. Yes, exactly. Yeah, give us a like, give us a subscribe. But anyways, yeah, it's like, it's so hard to only hold ourselves accountable. The biggest people in this, like, think of like Olympians. Olympians have coaches. Think of, celebrities. They have acting coaches. Think of professional athletes. They have coaches coaching them pretty much every single day and just like drilling in them. It's always, outside themselves. And to be honest, a lot of really, really highly successful people, they pay for mentors and coaches to work with them. It's literally like success leaves clues, right? I don't know if you guys have ever heard that quote. Tony Robbins says that all the time. And it's true. And when I actually Googled that, that quote, that we are 95% more likely to hit our goals when and if we have a mentor involved. I was like, it's 95%, because I literally typed, what is the percentage, or what is the success rate of having an accountability mentor or coach? And it literally said 95%. There was an entire article on it. So this is exactly why I added this component to this boot camp, because I want you guys to succeed. This is my biggest goal. Like, my biggest goal for the next 5 days is to see you guys succeed. I want to hear your guys' success stories. We had well over 40 or 50 success stories from the last boot camp. It was insane. It was absolutely the most amazing thing ever. And to be honest, so that was, this is so funny to like do numbers. We had, I think, like 45 people who upgraded, who had the access to those accountability partners. So 40 to 50 people that, reach out to me with success stories, like, it literally proves that statistic right. So that's the other added benefit that you get with the upgrade. It's only $17 starting on day 3. That $17 is going to go up to $27. So make sure that if it is something that you want, take advantage of the $17 price, because that $17 price will go up starting Friday. Okay. So let's see. I think that's pretty much it as far as like the added benefits. Oh, and then of course you get the private access to the exclusive, the artistry community. It's a private community on Kajabi that we made, and that is where you submit your homework to be selected for the daily prizes. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started by sharing who won today's giveaway. Technically yesterday, but day 1 giveaway. All right. So I'm going to share with you, we have really great prizes. So that's something that I'm like really proud of. Every single challenge that I have ever done, that I've ever hosted, we always get really bomb ass prizes. So that's the other thing too. After today, the only people who are eligible for the rest of the prizes for this boot camp are the ones that are the paid upgrades. So I'm going to share with you guys what is included in today's giveaway that is eligible essentially for everybody, regardless if you paid or are free. So Onset Headsets has actually been, they are sponsoring for this particular boot camp. And one of their sister companies, Tubies, they are essentially giving one of these away every single day. Okay. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek about the grand prize at the day 5 giveaway. But this is one of the giveaway prizes for today. It essentially is like one of those earpieces for Onset. So if you have a walkie, COVID right now, you want to be as clean as possible. Having your own earpiece helps significantly. And there's different colors, so you'll be able to choose what color you want. I got the little hot pink one. It's kind of like a purple. It's like a fuchsia. It's super, super cute. Now, side note, this is what one person for the grand prize on day 5 is going to get. Not only are you going to get one of these Tubies earpieces from them, but you're also going to get the full-blown Onset headset pack, which is a little like a little earpiece that's like a fitted earpiece. Like those are so nice. The full entire wire with the mic for your walkie, and then some extra little bits right here that go in with the walkie, plus of course the added little tubies guy right here. But that fully is going to be on day 5. Just a sneak peek for one of the many amazing prizes that are going to be on day 5. But so the other prizes for today's, for day 1, okay, Urban Decay All-Nighter Setting Spray. We got Garnier, which is another brand sponsor for us, is the Micellar Cleansing Eco Pads. And then also the Micellar Cleansing Water. A little, like, it's like a really cute size too. It's like really, really small compared to like the really big ones. So those 2. And then you will also be getting a copy of the What It Takes documentary, DVD style. Okay? So that is what today's prize giveaway. So I'm going to go ahead and announce who the lucky winner is. The lucky winner, and she's here, is Olive from Olive Skies Beauty. So you guys give it up for Olive. Olive, you are our day 1 winner. I will be reaching out to you through direct message. I know you're on Instagram, so I will direct message you and get your address from you, and you are day 1 prize winner. So congratulations, Olive. It's a pretty cool prize. Okay, so that is essentially all of the announcements that I have at the beginning of this particular training. So if anybody is wanting to upgrade because you want to have added access to all of those added benefits, the accountability added benefit with the accountability mentors, the access to the workbooks, access to the community page, the private community page, and also, why am I spacing the other one? I forget. Oh yeah. And then you also get lifetime access to these replays. All of that is your upgrade that you guys all have access to if you want to pay for that upgrade. So if anybody is interested in that, feel free to comment in the comments, and one of the mentors, either Sabrina or Elisa, will send you the link for that upgrade. You can do it either right now or you can do it after this training, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the training. Now, I already gave you guys a pre-training and explained who I am. Just in case those who may not have been able to watch the pre-training, there might be some of you guys that didn't get a chance to watch it. I'm just going to go ahead and do a small reintroduction. I'm Amber Tallarico. I am the owner and creator of What It Takes. I showed you guys earlier just for a quick bit. This is the documentary that I directed. It released back in 2017. It's called What It Takes. And basically, it's a film about what it takes to be a successful makeup artist in the film and fashion industry. And it highlights the struggles that makeup artists go through. And so the success from the film and the really positive feedback that we got from the film kind of struck my interest to continue going in the direction of self-development and motivating the artists in our industry, and also like sharing information and sharing knowledge and education. So now I've actually developed a full-blown online platform. So like I said, we do multiple makeup challenges, which are now the boot camps per year. We have an online membership site called The Inner Circle. Both Sabrina and Elisa are inside of it. Let's see. Mia is in it. Let's see who else is from The Inner Circle. Kay is in it. Hi, Kay. Let's see. Samika, I feel like, aren't you in it? I feel like you were. I know you were in the boot camp last time. So Samika, I feel like you did join The Inner Circle. And I'm trying to see anybody else. So yeah, those are all of like, sorry. I don't know what I got like super sidetracked for a second. Anyways, the other things that we offer are online courses. So I teach men's grooming. I'm a men's grooming specialist, and I have an entire online course about men's grooming. So I created an online platform specific for helping makeup artists pretty much at all stages. So It is seriously my passion. I have worked literally any type of job. Like I literally have worked it. I worked everything. And luckily I can say what I like and what I don't like with that being said. So while I've done, work pretty much in, I've done commercials, music videos, fashion and runway, editorial, print, ad campaigns, to be honest, I've done theater as well, but I primarily focus and I've done TV and film, but I primarily focus in advertising, like ad campaigns and men's grooming. So that's me. That's what I like to do the most. I do special effects as well. If I'm ever asked to, I do hair. So, but my focus is ad campaigns and men's grooming. So that is me in a nutshell. I moved from Indiana to LA with literally, I think it was like $500 in my pocket. So if you guys ever watch the documentary, you'll see exactly that story. Like you'll see it, to pursue a career in this industry, and specifically like film and TV and fashion, and was there for 10 years. Right now, I'm currently residing in Denver, but I am essentially based in both LA and Denver. So like right now I'm here in Denver. I'm getting ready to go to LA starting next week for a show that I'll be on. So I definitely have a lot of information and knowledge to share. And I feel like so many artists are really like, no, I don't want to share anything. And I'm like an open book. All of you that have been a part of the What It Takes community for any amount of time know how transparent I am about everything. Negotiating rates, what to expect on set, the mindset aspect. And I'm very, very open. And so that is essentially me in a nutshell. So now that I have kind of reintroduced myself, I want to go ahead and move on with the training. So those of you that have your workbooks, get your workbook out, okay? The day one workbook. And as you'll see in your workbooks, every single day, I put an inspirational quote. So I'm all about the inspirational quotes. I'm obsessed with them. So the inspirational quote for day one is, "You've been running from your dreams and wonder why you're so tired." This was a quote by Trent Sheldon. And I heard this quote, and when I heard it, I was like, whoa. You've been running from your dreams and you wonder why you're so tired. So if anybody can relate to that quote, please let me know in the comments, because when I heard that, it really hit me. It really hit me, and I was like, whoa, okay, got it. It really like kicked me in the ass. I was like, right, okay, got it. All right, that's exactly what I needed. So just a little dose of inspirational quotes there. So I want to start this training off, this particular part of the training off, by letting you guys know that no matter what I or anybody teaches you, no matter what, if your mindset is not in a good place, you're like, nothing will work. And when I say nothing will work, I don't mean that so harshly. What I mean is you're going to constantly come across obstacles and hardships and struggle. And it doesn't have to be that hard. Here's the thing that I find a lot of people talk about in this industry, which is the struggle. And I actually talk about it a lot as well. There's a truth to the struggle. We all struggle. But if we can all individually finesse our mindset, that struggle can go from, struggling at an 80% struggle rate to like a 20% struggle rate. I'm not saying that, once you get your mindset all set and ready, that you're going to have like zero issues at all, zero, everything's going to be so easy. Like, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is things are going to come so much easier if you get your mindset straight first. Okay. No matter what anybody says, you have to be in the right mindset. So for the rest of this, these next 5 days, basically I started with mindset because we have to rebuild that foundation in order for you guys to even grasp what I'm going to be teaching you about marketing, about social media marketing, about promoting yourself and self-promotion, about, building that confidence in order to do the self-promotion. In order to do self-promotion, you have to have a certain amount of self-confidence. That self-confidence immediately stems from mindset work. Okay? So we have to start with this. This is like, it can be ugly sometimes, it can be scary, it can be hard. Because a lot of the times our mindset tends to, like what I like to call mindset blocks. So success blocks, money blocks, what they stem from is something that is way deep inside that sometimes we're not even aware of. Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have enough time, even in these 5 days, to go as deep as I would absolutely love to on the mindset train. But I'm going to share with you my favorite things about mindset that I have found. Most people have really big takeaways, eye-opening moments, and also just transformations from. Okay, so sorry, I have notes in front of me, and there's a ring light behind me, and the ring light blinds me kind of. And so when I go down to my notes, it's like, okay, I gotta like recalibrate my eyes for a second. So I want to share with you an analogy that I always love to share. And every time I share this, anytime that it's new to anybody, they're always like, oh my gosh. So for those of you that have heard this analogy a million times, I'm apologizing right now. I like to give you guys the example of imagining yourself walking into a room that is not well lit. Whether that means it's completely dark or it just has like minimal lighting where there are a lot of, shadows and darkness, and just you can't really quite make out things that are in the room, right? You walk into this room and you're kind of searching, we'll just say you're searching for the light switch or something like that, or a light source of some sort. And you go and you look in the corner of the room and you see this coiled snake-like object. And your body and your mind immediately assumes that that object is in fact a snake, okay? And your body and your mind react as if it's a snake, meaning you go into panic depending on how you feel about snakes. You have high anxiety depending on how you feel about snakes, and you might run, you might scream. Your body reacts physically to an assumption of something you can only half see. But say your, significant other comes in the room, they're like, what's going on? Why are you freaking out? And they flip on the lights, and it just so happens to be either like a coil, not a coil, but like a what is it called? Like a belt or like a rope that's just so happens to be in this like little coiled motion that looks to be like a coiled snake. And then if you put that in perspective, you have shocked your systems. You shocked your body into fight or flight mode to, like I said, depending on how you feel about snakes, you could have a panic attack. If you're really, really uneasy about snakes, you could have an anxiety attack. You might get short of breath. You might scream. You might run, depending on that. Basically, my point being is that you created an assumption of what that object was, and your entire body reacted as if that was true. So this is so important because this is so true for everything that just is, like our daily lives. What are you thinking every single day about your makeup career, about yourself? Do you struggle with posting on Instagram? A lot of us, I've come across so many artists, and I feel this as well, that struggle with showing up on Instagram. Instagram can make you a fuck ton of money, okay? I was consistently busy from June of 2020 all the way up until June of 2021. An entire year straight, I was booked solid. But I had a very, very specific strategy with Instagram, and I did a lot of inner work to show up. Some of us have that fear of showing up and being seen, and that fear turns into you saying in your mind, people are going to think I'm ugly. People are going to make fun of me. People are going to think my work is bad. People are going to judge me. that goes back directly to that analogy with the snake. You're creating assumptions that are not even true. You're assuming, and your body is reacting to something that hasn't even happened, right? So we kind of create self-sabotage almost when our minds are going to that place of creating an illusion, right? So remember that for whenever you're thinking about your mindset, because like it goes to show how powerful our minds are. We can literally assume that there's a snake in the room because we think it's a snake, and our body reacts as if it is a snake. So turning this around in the positive light, what would it look like? What would your life and what would your career look like if you acted as if you were going to be successful no matter what? It was inevitable. And your body reacted that way in a physiology sense. What would that look like? You would be showing up differently. You would have a lot more self-confidence, and it would change a lot for you. And this is something that came up to me in the program that I was with for Catherine Zankina, which is acting as if. So if you want success in your life, acting as if it's already happened is a mindset trick. Just like the mindset trick was to like, you thought that shit was a snake. You are tricking your mind because it's not a snake. But your body reacted as if it was the truth and nothing but the truth. So why not flip that and act as if you were already successful? Act as if you already have it, oopsie, sorry guys. Act as if it already is yours and that your success is inevitable. And your body will change. Trust me when I say it changes. It's really cool. It's really cool what happens when you start to take that into consideration with your daily mindset, process that goes through your mind. Yes, Elisa says mindset is key. Oh, she says Amber is such an inspiration. Thank you. You're so sweet. Sabrina, I think we often forget how much power our mindset has. Exactly. Seriously. It's I always share the Abraham Hicks little it's not a trick, but it's like she really talks a lot about the 17-second rule. So she has a book. So if you guys follow Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks. So Abraham Hicks is a channeled entity that Esther Hicks essentially channels. And Abraham Hicks is technically like a collective, right? So Abraham Hicks is always, it's like a they rather than a he or she. So anyways, Abraham Hicks preaches about the 17-second rule. So whatever your mind is focusing on for 17 seconds or more, it's almost like that begins to form inside your reality. So if you were to take like the overall amount of time throughout the day that you're thinking about one or two things consistently, what might those one or two things that you consistently think about be? Are they positive or are they negative? It's, for some reason, it's a lot easier to be negative and self-sabotage and, be really, really hard on ourselves than it is to be like, I'm going to do like everything that I want today. I'm going to hit all my goals. I am a successful entrepreneur. I'm a successful makeup artist. And so for whatever reason, it's a lot easier to be negative about ourselves than it is to be positive about ourselves, right? So start thinking about that. Start thinking about the concept of the 17-second rule. For a very, very long time, I had, and I still, just so you guys know, I still struggle with blocks. Like I am not inhuman, right? I'm not superhuman. I still have blocks that I, am going through and obstacles that I personally go through. But back in 2015, when I really started to get on like this, like, deeper inner work, I had major, and I'm talking major money blocks. And at that time in my life, what was going through my mind constantly that would equate 17, probably like minutes straight about how I don't have enough money, how I am not, getting high rates, how I'm always broke, how I don't have enough to pay rent or pay bills, or I don't have enough money to buy myself new shoes or buy new makeup. Like, that's what was always on my mind. I was constantly obsessing over the lack of money that I had. And it took me several years. So it's not an overnight thing. It really isn't. It takes a while. So don't be hard on yourself if I'm sharing this with you and you're getting amped up and tomorrow you feel not as amped up. Like, that is normal. It's a consistent thing, consistency thing where you have to constantly practice. It literally is like fitness. It's working out. If you haven't worked out in a very, very long time, and maybe your thigh muscles are not really strong, if you work out one day, your thighs are not going to all of a sudden just be extremely strong, thin, lean, and toned. It takes practice and commitment to get your legs toned, right? It's not just a one and done thing. Same thing with mindset, okay? So I definitely suggest you guys to really sit with yourself and ask yourself what are you saying to yourself throughout the day? Are you at the beginning of that mindset self-development journey where you are where I was, in 2015, constantly thinking about how you don't have enough money? Now I have, experienced all these mindset tricks, hacks, techniques that I have found work really well for me. And I know exactly, I can immediately address and acknowledge when I'm getting back into that place. And I know what to do now to get out of that. But it took a lot of practice. So anyways, moving on. I know I went on a little bit of a tangent with that. Yesterday, you guys were supposed to express what success means to you. That was part of the pre-training, like inside your workbook. So defining what that success looks like to you. And I'm going to repeat myself here. It is really important to define this because the last thing that you want to be doing is defining success as just, I don't know, just like I just want to work. Because if you are the type, like if you just say, I just want to work as a makeup artist, that's all. Like that's it. That's great. That's a great goal. There's nothing wrong with that goal. However, what that potentially opens the door for is you getting jobs that aren't in alignment for your lifestyle. We have to understand, you guys, we have a lifestyle. So the film industry requires a certain lifestyle. The fashion industry requires a certain lifestyle. The advertising industry requires a certain lifestyle. So understanding, or in the bridal industry, certain lifestyle. If you want to be a content creator and produce content and course creation and membership sites like how I do, it is a very specific lifestyle that you have to be in alignment with. And so if you, prioritize family time and, community events, and you love going to your Tuesday 3 p.m. yoga class, unfortunately, the film world is not a good fit. And that's okay. And just so you guys know, I'm going to be super honest here, for the longest time, it took me a very long time to understand that and actually accept that. Because I am a very family oriented, I love hanging out with friends and family, but the amount of family and friend events that I have had to miss over the last 13 years of my career hurts me. Like, it pains me. I've had to miss funerals. I've had to miss weddings. But that is literally, that's what goes, hand in hand with the film industry. It comes with the territory. It is the lifestyle. So if that's not something that, aligns with you, make sure that you define that success for yourself. I want to work on anything and everything. However, I don't want to do 15-hour days. It's like just adding that one bit of added, definition, clarity. Okay. Clarity is seriously the best in this industry, and setting your goals and setting, the vision that you have for yourself for success. It's kind of vital. Okay. The other thing too that I want to talk about is that if you don't believe that it can happen, that the success, that those goals that you have, that the money goals that you have for yourself, if you don't believe that it can happen to like throughout your entire body physically, like physiology wise, your mind and your body will make it, sorry, I think I said this backwards. If you don't believe it, that's going to be your reality. If you believe it to your core, that you are without a doubt going to be successful in said goal or in said, the dreams that you have for yourself in your makeup career. If you believe it, your mind and your body will make sure that will become your reality. Sometimes it looks a little different. Sometimes the universe loves to just be like, hey, like this is even better. So here you go. Sometimes what we have, set out for ourselves, sometimes it's actually, we're meant for something bigger. So that's something too to think about. But either way, believing it to your core is really, really important, because I'm going to share something with you guys, a little manifesting tip, okay? Is that when you don't believe a goal to actually happen, and when you guys, I'm saying literally actually believe it. There's some people that I've come across that I've like done one-on-one coaching with. When I don't do it very often, but when I do, there's been several people that are like, oh yeah, I believe it. And at the very core, I don't it's like they really don't believe it. They have self-doubt. They have, what do I always call it? The comparisonitis. That's what I call it. It's comparisonitis. They compare themselves to everybody else. And so that is like self-sabotaging them at an inner deep level. And so they don't believe it to their core that it could happen. If every single one of us, like no joke, literally was like, hell fucking yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, watch me, with 100% confidence. If every single one of us had that inside of us, every single one of us would be so incredibly successful. Why are there people that are super duper successful and then the ones that are not? Usually it's because the people that tend to have a lot of success believe it without a fucking doubt that they're going to be a millionaire, that they're going to be an Oscar-winning makeup artist, that they're going to department head the next Avengers or whatever it is. They believe it to the core, and they've done work to make sure. It's like sometimes what that looks like work-wise is inner work, but it can also look like they've done the work to get there. They've paid their dues, so to speak. So they've gotten, God damn it, sorry guys, they've gotten the experience behind them. You see what I'm saying? So, but I want to share with you guys this little, I got sidetracked there. I always share this story because I think it is really helpful and it brings a sense of perspective for you guys. When I was in the process of releasing my film, I had the goal. And like I said, back in 2015 and 2016, this was like when I really started diving deep in my inner development and self-development work. So I started doing all the meditations. I was reading all the books. I, was a really, really big fan of Jack Canfield. I still am. He's great. Jack Canfield is really amazing. He wrote the book, The Success Principles, and it's a really one of my favorites. And reading, Lisa Nichols and Bob Proctor and all of like the big, manifestation gurus. All right. And at that time, and there was a couple other like spiritual woo-woo people that I was following at the time that were very much like big on numbers. And I really, really wanted to sell the rights to my film for $500,000. And like I was trying to go for Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or HBO or something like that. And I worked on it day in and day out. And the story of Jim Carrey, where he's like, oh, he wrote himself a check for like $1 million. I did that. I wrote myself a check for $500,000, and I did these intense practices where I wrote, sold my, or I wrote it in the present tense of that I sold the film for $500,000. I wrote it 55 times, 5 days in a row. The 555 method is what they call it. I did that. Okay. And I did meditations. That never happened for me. Not even remotely close. Okay. Never sold the rights to it at all. I still do self-distribution. So the reason why I share this with you is that I was doing a lot of work. And I think I still had so many like really heavy money blocks that just weren't clear at that time. But the second biggest thing was that I didn't actually believe it could happen. And the reason why I didn't believe it could happen is simply put, I didn't even know what it felt like to have $85,000 in my account, let alone $500,000, right? So our bodies, our minds, and our souls react to what we in our subconscious mind believe to be true. Okay? So, what I mean by this is when we have huge goals, like selling a film for $500,000, whatever that is, in order for you to actually believe that to come to fruition, you have to hit the goals in between before you get there. I would have most likely been able to hit that goal had I known what the experience was like to get $20,000, then $100,000, and then $250,000. And it's incremental, but what happens is it's the whole concept of believing before you see it, right? You have to believe it before you see it. A lot of people tend to say the saying, I'll see it when I believe it, right? I'm sorry, I believe it when I see it. But what our minds actually have to do is they have to see it in order to believe it. So you have to understand that there are incremental goals, incremental steps that you have to achieve to essentially know without a shadow of a doubt and believe that that can happen for you, right? Or do an immense amount of inner work, which that also helps significantly too. So I hope that that makes sense as far as really believing to your core that this success that you want for yourself is it is literally going to happen. You have no doubts. And the biggest way to know if you really feel like it's going to happen is that you have let go of all ties of the timing of when it's going to manifest. That is honestly the biggest thing that I've learned over the years, is that when we obsess over a goal and we think that we believe it's going to happen, but then we get upset that it didn't happen in said timing. Time is an illusion, okay? This is something I've never really talked about. This is something that I recently kind of stumbled across, is that time is an illusion. So if you believe and you know without a shadow of a doubt that it is going to happen, why are you even remotely concerned about the time? Does it matter that it's going to happen tomorrow, or does it matter that it's going to happen in a year? Because if you let go of the how the fuck is this going to happen? How am I going to get $500,000? You obsess over it, and then you end up self-sabotaging, which returns back to the fact that you don't believe that it's going to happen, right? If you let go and you're like, hell yeah, it's going to happen. Like, woo, I can't wait. This is going to be exciting. Let's go. $500,000. I'm fucking ready for you. 500,000. I'm fucking ready for you. Like, come on. Like, let's go. Like, let's dance, right? If you had that sense about the goals that you have, trust me when I say you're going to manifest it way faster. It's going to essentially, in the Kundalini world, we call it folding time. So say, for instance, if I didn't do any of that work and I didn't believe it and so on and so forth, it would have taken 5 years to get $500,000 versus 1 year. So when you let go of the concept of when and how, it is going to manifest into reality so much faster. So believe it and let go of the how. Okay. So the next thing, I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to see what the chat is saying. Yes, Mia. Mia said, I just want to say that I'm currently booking 2 clients as we sit here. Mindset really is everything. Absolutely. It absolutely is. I love that. See, it's amazing. She's already manifesting just by being here. I love it. Elisa says, love act as if. That changed things for me. Yep, absolutely. I'm going to get more into that in just a second. It's some like really diving deep on the act as if part. Yes. So yeah, the acting as if, just so you guys know, it can be hard. So I'm gonna definitely talk a little bit more about the acting as if. Do I have anything in my teeth? There was one time, you guys, I went live and I was wearing this red lipstick and I had lipstick all over my teeth. And I was like, great. So every time I wear red lipstick, I'm like like, whoa, what do my teeth look like? Anyways, so moving on to the acting as if part. So, asking yourself, like, are you currently acting as if that's true? Acting as if that success, acting as if that goal that you have, those dreams that you have are yours. And it is going to happen without a shadow of a doubt. It is inevitable. Are you acting as if it's already yours? So, going back to my example of the $500,000, what I was saying about the fact that I did not know how $85,000 at that time felt. I didn't know what that felt like, let alone 100,000, 200,000, or 500,000. Acting, I wouldn't even be able to know how to act as if, because I never experienced those little steps. Now, I know now that I can quantum leap. We call it quantum leaping in the self-development world, in the spiritual, metaphysical space. Quantum leaping meaning it's just like I said before, like folding time. Now I know exactly that I could act as if that $500,000 is coming to me and it is mine. It is inevitable. I know that that's going to happen, because what I can do is not only believe that and say that and repeat it and do the 17-second rule, do a full entire 17 seconds of just being like, hell yeah, it's going to come to me. It's going to happen. But also acting on a daily basis that it already is happening. So what that would look like for me is not being afraid of my bank account. At that time, I cringed every single time I looked at my bank account. I was scared of my bank account. I hated it. I hated looking at it. I hated answering any phone calls, because God forbid it's going to be another credit card debt collector. That like completely, literally is like opposing requests from the universe. So you're requesting to manifest $500,000, but you're like, I don't want to look at the money. I don't want to pay people. I don't want to pay off my debts. I am so scared of looking at my bank account that I get a stomachache every single time that I do it. It is opposing mindset thoughts. It literally, like, you're literally going against what you're asking for, right? So when you're acting as if, what I could have been doing that would probably have helped significantly is looking at my bank statement, looking at my bank account, talking to those credit card debt collectors or whatever they're called. And to be honest, like, I don't know why I was so afraid of those people, because they're just trying to help. They're trying to help you get on track. If you can't pay, like, they just need to know that you can't pay. Like, let's talk about options. For whatever reason, I was under the impression that they were going to handcuff me, I don't know, and take me to jail for not paying. I don't know what. I had this fear. Once again, the whole snake analogy, where I was like, I don't know, they're going to arrest me. Not the case at all. If I would have just answered, I probably would have gotten myself out of a lot of really bad situations at that time in my life, financially. So anyways, acting as if, so I could have, put myself out there. Just so you guys know, like, $500,000 usually, like, that shit doesn't just like fall into your lap. But for whatever reason, I thought that it would. I don't know, but you have to work to get to it, right? You have to find the opportunities. Sometimes it's not as easy as like, dear universe, dear God, dear source, dear angels, guides, please send me $500,000 and I'm going to write it 55 times. Okay. Like, That's enough, right? And then I didn't do anything. I was too scared to ask for investors. I was too scared to reach out to Netflix or Hulu. I was too scared because I thought that I didn't know what I was doing and that I would look stupid. Going back to the mindset. I probably wouldn't. I mean, people do that all the time. Like, how many documentaries now do you guys see on Netflix? Like, I could have probably gotten it on Netflix. You see what I'm saying here? If I would have acted as if it was already mine, I would have been like, Netflix? Yeah. Yep. I have a really great documentary. Yes. $500,000. Okay. Send me the check now. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, Sadir says it's the anxiety. It definitely is. It brings anxiety, right? So, acting as if, and this was something recently that I kind of really embodied, and it was a huge pivotal moment and transformational for me when I went through this particular program. It's through Manifestation Babe with Catherine Zankina, and that particular, what she shared was like profound. And so basically it's the whole concept of acting as if. So she literally was like, we are now going to start acting as if you are a money fucking magnet and you have no cares in the world. Like you can, afford anything that you want within reason, and that money is flowing to you effortlessly and with ease, right? So act as if, what are your goals? And at that time of the program, I wanted to have a lot of success with what it takes. And at that time that I took it, I wasn't acting as if I was already a successful business owner, like an online content creator, whatever you want to call it. I wasn't. I was avoiding certain things because I have like different ideas every damn day. Trust me when I say I have new ideas all the time. The amount of ideas that I have wanted to offer you guys, I don't even want to talk about how many ideas I've had, but I never acted as if I was already a successful online business content creator, whatever, to offer those things. And what I would do is I would self-sabotage and be like, maybe they won't like it. Maybe they won't like it. You know what? I don't know if anybody's going to show up for it. I don't know if anybody's going to pay for it. I don't know. Whatever. You know what? I'm just going to go back on set. Now, what happened, which was transformational for me, was I decided then and there, I'm going to start acting as if I am that successful version of myself that I want myself to be, and I know that I already am. It already exists if you allow it to be. So I started showing up differently. I started showing up on Instagram more often. I started doing more videos. I started actually dressing different. Something that Catherine, when she talks about her quantum leaping hacks, she talks about dressing as if you're already that person. So what your success goals look like, how would you act? What would your day look like? Who would you be talking to? And how would you be talking to them? How would you be dressing? For me, the dressing thing was the biggest part. I will never forget this day. I went out and I went to Marshall's. I bought myself, I'm like a huge, huge fan of, what is it called? Oh my God, this is embarrassing because it's like one of my favorite brands and I cannot think of what it's called. Oh my God, why can't I think about it? It'll come to me later. It's like a brand in LA, primarily based in LA. And it's more expensive. And it's a store that my sister and I have always gone to and said to ourselves, oh my God, I can't wait to be able to shop here when we actually have a lot of money. Because it's not really something that free people. Thank you, Sabrina. See, Sabrina even knows this story. She's heard me say it before. Free people. Yes, it is free people. So free people, I bought this free people cardigan, and it was, I think it was over $100, at sale price, retail price. But at Marshall's, I think it was $30 fucking. I don't know how. I was just like, whoa, I literally hit the fucking jackpot with that. But when I wear it, I feel a very certain way. It adjusts my vibration into alignment with that version of myself that is successful, the version of myself that has a highly successful online business, so on and so forth. So when I wear it, I I act on things, I show up. It's very weird. It's like an alter ego. It's actually really fucking cool. And Catherine actually talks about, I'm really going on a tangent with this, but Catherine actually talks about like naming that alter ego. And it can be anything from a completely different name, or it can be something which what I decided, which was Amber fucking Tallarico or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it means, but either way, you create this alter ego and you show up as that alter ego. So it's a really cool way of like quantum leaping your manifestation abilities and your mindset. It really helps with your mindset. So, what I want you guys to do, which is inside your workbooks. So really quick. Yes, I love free people as well. It's like, it's my favorite. I absolutely love it. So, oopsies. Here we go. Inside your guys' journal section, right? There are questions that will speak about this, okay? So we have to discover what your blocks are. We have to get that out there. So this is where you guys come in. I just kind of preached for you guys and got like some inspiration flowing, some perspective flowing, right? We all have blocks, but we have to figure out what those blocks are in order to release them, right? So blocks are always subconscious. There's definitely times where, depending on where you're at in your self-development journey and your mindset and manifesting journey, you may have already released a lot of blocks. You may have done breath work. And I know Samika is really well-versed in this world. So like someone like Samika, she might already be, very deep into that world. But some of you guys might be, haven't even delved too deep into this quite yet. No matter what, where you're at, we all have blocks. And no matter what, so a little thing that Catherine always talks about, which is we have two options. We can either struggle at the level that we're at with the struggles that you're currently struggling with, or you can jump to the next level and you're going to have new struggles, right? Which level do you want? Because both levels, both options, both forms of success or levels of success have struggles. They're just different struggles. So the reason why I said that is because each time that you level up, you're gonna come across new success blocks, new money blocks. So it's a never-ending journey of self-development mindset. Okay. So like for me, with my money blocks, for the longest time, I was always like, oh, I don't have enough money to do that. Oh, I can't hang out tonight because I'm broke. I literally said I'm broke. I don't even know how many times. It became my reality. I was in fact broke. Why? Because I kept telling myself that I believed it to be true. Therefore, it was my reality. And, things growing up, my family, my mother in particular, definitely had a big hand in that subconscious belief. Amber, we can't get Lucky Charms because that's too expensive, right? Or Amber, no, you can't get that Barbie because it's too expensive. Amber, you can't get the steak because we don't have enough money. So it was always, always, always taught to me, Amber, you can't have that because it's too much money. Amber, you can't do that because we're broke. Amber, you can't move to California because you don't have enough money. Amber, you can't move to California because it's too expensive. So it literally was like a true pattern my entire life that I was always told, Amber, you can't do that because you don't have enough money. Amber, you're broke. Amber, stop doing that because you have no business doing that with the, lack of funds that you have, so on and so forth. It's a little secret. When you invest in yourself, there's a portal that opens, and that portal opens doors for you. It's just a little secret. Anytime I have ever gone out of my comfort zone to invest in myself, the opportunities that come it happens every single time. So that's just a little trick. So if any of you guys have, money blocks, trust me when I say, when you allow yourself to just invest in something, especially yourself, you're essentially telling yourself your mindset, and you're training your mindset that you are worth that. So just a little tidbit for you guys. So yeah, your blocks are always subconscious. So I just want to kind of go over, and in your workbook, there's going to be resources that I'm about to kind of talk about. So there's a lot of ways that we can release these blocks. We can do meditations. Meditations are my personal favorite. I like guided meditations, which is why you guys, every single one of you guys got the access to the free manifesting, the guided manifesting meditation. So every single one of you have access to that. I highly suggest start listening to that every single day. It will help to reprogram your mind and to amplify and magnify your energy to call in abundance, money, success, so on and so forth. The other thing that you can do is hypnosis. Hypnosis is really, really great. It's another favorite of mine. Hypnosis is just basically like a deeper version of guided meditation. So hypnosis, depending on if you go to a therapist or if you just listen to a guided, meditation, Joel Teal'c, I think, I forget how you say his last name. He has really great ones that are like sleep hypnosis. So you literally just listen to it while you're asleep. There's a lot of really great hypnotherapy guided meditations that you can do. And that one, to be honest, hypnotherapy has been, I feel, probably the best because it is very powerful what happens in hypnotherapy and hypno sessions. Like your subconscious mind is just, it reprograms it. So I've actually done a bunch of Joel's, and to be honest, like I'm gonna be super honest with you guys, in the process of moving from LA to Denver, where I'm at right now, I was having a lot of anxiety and panic attacks. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to this. What is his name? Where's my phone? This Joel Teal'c or something like that. He has a hypnotherapy session, like a guided hypnosis. Sorry, I'm like stumbling on the pronunciation of this. He has a guided hypnosis that is specific to anxiety and just like panic attacks and stuff like that, and depression. And I listened to it one night, and I kid you not, that next day I was like, I'm fine. Like I feel good. And so anytime that I do feel that sense of panic, that sense of anxiety that I had, I listen to that. Awesome. Melissa says, currently investing in myself, and I thoroughly believe in that. Yes, it's true. It really, really, it really amplifies your confidence. And when we amplify our confidence, you guys, your aura is so magnetic. Okay. And you can, boost your confidence in many ways. But when you invest in yourself and you literally tell yourself yes, because here's the thing, how many times when, growing up were we told no, you can't have that. And, it's just parenting. So when we can say yes to ourselves, it's really cool. It's actually kind of magical. Anyways, so some of the other options for releasing these blocks is EFT. So tapping. Like I said, all of these resources are inside that workbook. So everything that I'm, referring to, those resources are inside the workbook. So EFT, which is emotional freedom tapping. So if you guys are familiar with that, it basically taps on these different meridian points of our body. It's an Eastern medicine, like a Chinese medicine practice. Definitely does. Well, anyways, I didn't want to go into that. And so basically what it's doing is these particular not energy centers, meridian points, it's essentially like shaking the nerves of those particular points and reprogramming your beliefs about money, about weight loss, about love, about anxiety, whatever it might look like for you. So another thing, there's Emotional Code, which is a book that is really, really helpful. And Emotion Code, their modality is using I believe they do, what is it called? I forget exactly what it's called. But they do magnets, which is kind of cool. So you release by essentially pinning point. So shit, what is it called? I always lose my words, so bear with me, you guys. Muscle testing, that's what it's called. So a lot of chiropractors, some doctors even do it. They actually, muscle testing started in hospitals with, I think there was a patient that like was immobile, and so they used the muscle testing to find out what was potentially wrong. So anyways, you can find different things out about, your body, about your intuition, things like that by muscle testing. And so that is what they use with emotion code. NLP is something I'm not as familiar with NLP, but that is a modality. Breath work is huge. This is like, seriously, I love breath work. Kundalini yoga was what really opened the door for me for the breathwork world. Kundalini has a lot of breathwork in the practice. And then that got me into like actual just standalone breathwork. So like if you guys have ever heard of Wim Hof, the Wim Hof method, I personally do breathwork with a brand called Revelation Breathwork. I love them. So basically it's just because what happens is when we have these blocks can become stagnant energy, just stagnant in our body. So when we're stressed out, when we have traumatic events, typically what happens is we hold our breath, we tense up, we close our throat, meaning like we don't talk, we don't share about it, we keep it to ourselves. We're too scared to speak about it if it's something like really traumatic. And those are traumatic events. It can literally, the spectrum is so vast that it can be anything from falling on your, head from a bike injury to, somebody that like a teacher that called you fat or something like that. That's a traumatic event. And like I said, the spectrum is very vast. And sometimes it's something that we don't even remember. But this is the cool little psychology tidbit that I learned from a psychologist that was really, really intriguing. Polar bears, when they are in the wild and they experience something traumatic, like, being hunted or something, I don't know, like they fell or something very traumatic. What they do right after that traumatic event, they lay on their side and they start to convulse. They start to shiver, they start to shake, and just it's really intense. Like, you guys definitely Google this. It's really intriguing. And the reason why is because instinctually, as animals, as polar bears, they know if they don't do that, that energy is going to become stagnant, and then it's going to manifest into something potentially harmful to their body, whether that's, cancer, it could be pain, it could be whatever, So the human brain, especially in America, I would say, are so quick to say, don't cry in front of anybody. You're gonna look really, you're going to look really stupid if you cry in front of people. You're going to look really weak if you cry in front of people. You're going to, set somebody off. You're going to piss somebody off if you confront them about something. Don't say anything. Just shut up. Don't tell anybody. If it's, something that somebody said that, I don't know. There's a lot of things that we are conditioned to not allow those emotions energetically to leave our body in the proper way. That if we were animals, we would literally shake that fucking shit out. That's where the phrase goes, just shake it out. So if and when you do have experiences that are traumatic, ideally, right after that traumatic event, shaking it out however you need to is like what will get it out of your system and not be suppressed and stagnant in your energy centers and potentially cause pain, trauma, subconscious blocks, things like that. And it's really, so going back to the point of this, when you're doing breath work, what tends to happen, because the way that we work as humans is we have suppressed so many things that there is, in fact, a lot of suppressed, stagnant, blocked energy that is within our body at like just random places, right? So when we do breath work, sometimes it can be really, really intense. I typically have like really crazy crying fits, but basically, and some people laugh, some people itch. I yawn sometimes I like burp. So it's just different ways that your body is releasing these energies. So like I said, EFT, emotional freedom tapping, I tend to, when I do those, it's not my favorite way, but when I do it, I start to itch. That's how I usually know that something is leaving, like the energy is leaving my body. Sometimes I yawn a lot as well. The other thing too is that when I'm doing breath work, a lot of the time, breath work is a lot more intense, because you are forcing the breath work and that oxygen to get rid of those energy blocks, and it tends to come up in a little bit more aggressive way. So definitely, if you have never done breath work, make sure that you are ready for it. So anyways, all of those resources, like I said, are inside your workbook. So definitely check that out. And it's all clickable. There's so many things that we have access to release these blocks that we have about our success, about our money, about our love, or whatever, right? And trusting when I say like it's going to change everything for you when you start doing that physical work consistently. Meditating, hypnotherapy, breath work. And this is something that I recently stumbled across that I've really, really resonated with, which is the more physical you can make it, the better it's going to be, and the faster you are going to release the block. Hence the whole polar bear thing. Like literally, I'm talking like they were like going crazy. Okay. So, that is definitely something that you guys should definitely like keep in mind for any type of energy work and releasing. And then the last little bit that I just had on this particular, tangent is make sure you invest in your brain. Invest in your brain. It is the best thing I have ever done, is investing in my brain. What do I mean by that? What I mean is I show up for breath work. I meditate. And what I really want to just like say this really quick. Meditation, I think that there's like this really weird, most people are pretty receptive nowadays, like to meditation. It's pretty common now. Like it's a very, it's way more mainstream than it ever has been. When I started doing meditation, it was starting to become mainstream, but now, especially with TikTok, meditation is like, it's big, which is amazing. And I love that. But I still come across a lot of artists specifically that are like, meditation, like I can't meditate. I have ADD. Bitches, I have ADD. Like I'm medicated for it. I have clinically diagnosed ADD since the last 14 or 15 years. So when my mom back 13 or 14 or 15 years ago, she was really, because I've struggled with it my entire life, but my mom was always like, Amber, you just need to eat better. Amber, you need to just focus. Amber, you need to just blah, 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 blah. And so I never got medical attention for my disorder. Okay. So I struggled really bad in high school. And so when I got out of high school, I was like, Mom, I'm 18 now. Like I'm going to go get tested because I really think that this is something of concern. She was like, Amber, just meditate. Just do some yoga. You'll be fine. And I literally wanted to smack her. I was like, Mom, I have ADD. I cannot meditate. I cannot sit still for more than 5 seconds. Like, what don't you understand? But so I get it when people that have a hard time focusing, whether are medically diagnosed ADD, or if you just haven't been diagnosed, or you just in general have a focus, issue, you can still do it no matter what that looks like for you. You just have to find the type of meditation that is right for you. And also, same analogy that I was talking about earlier, if you're trying to work out and, get healthy, and you're trying to work out, your biceps, day one, you're not going to have like starting from zero. You're not going to go from 0 to 100 in day one. Those biceps are going to gain definition and lose the fat around it, and you're it's just going to start looking thinner and leaner over time. And over time meaning showing up consistently with the workout that you're doing to enhance your muscles. You know what I'm saying? So same thing goes for meditation. It's the same thing. You're working your brain, which is something that you are working on, and it's working like a muscle, right? So meditation is for everybody, but it's just a matter of finding what type of meditation works for you. Some like to just sit in complete silence. I'm at the point at this time in my life that I could sit in silence and meditate. I would seriously, if I was in front of myself, like if I was myself right now, and then myself 10 years, 13 years ago was like in front of me, and I was like, hey, Amber, guess what I do? I meditate in silence now. I would have been like, yeah, fuck off. Okay, what a great joke. Awesome. See you later. I'm going back to 2009 or whatever year it was then. So it literally is just a matter of practice. And like I said, finding what works for you. So I really love guided meditations and hypnosis, but you might like, walking meditations. So there's tons of Google it, YouTube it, walking meditation. You could even do something like a candle meditation where you just put a candle on, you light it, and you just stare at the flame. That is a form of meditation. It doesn't have to be so, like you're sitting in meditation pose and it's silent and you're saying Om and you've got the mudras and everything. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't at all. So just wanted to say that investing in your brain is the best thing you can do, because you guys, our mindset is everything. That's why today is so important and why this is the content for day one. We have to assess where we're at right now, mindset wise, and start a mindset practice so that we can really, really gain that confidence to start marketing ourselves, do self-promotion, taking action for networking, taking action for, applying for those jobs. Sometimes what it can even look like is just taking action to get up and go to the store and do something. And instead of just going to the store and doing your thing and coming back, you now have a new mindset, a new sense of confidence and self-worth or worthiness that you start up conversations at the grocery store, and then it leads to a job. That's happened to me before. You see what I'm saying here? It all comes back. Yes. See, Mia says walking meditation is my jam. Exactly. I'm not a fan of walking meditations because I personally can't be distracted by everything around me. But this is exactly my point. It works for Mia. It doesn't work for me, but that does not mean that walking meditation, because it doesn't work for me, it's not going to work for anybody else. This is actually my biggest pet peeve. Just a side note, my biggest pet peeve is when instructors, educators, experts, gurus are like, this is how you succeed. This is how you manifest. This is the number one secret to manifestation. This is the number one secret to success. And it's not that. And the reason why is because we are all unique in our own way, in our own right. What works for me does not necessarily work for you, So finding your way of what mindset hacks, what mindset techniques you feel drawn to and connected to, you need to find that. And once you find it, you're going to be unstoppable. Trust me when I say you are going to be unstoppable. It took me a really long time to find out what those were. Like I said, that 5-5-5 thing that I did not fucking work for me. But With that being said, there is an artist that I know, her name is Melissa, and she loves doing that. She writes everything in 5s, 3 times in a row, I think, something like that. She literally does that, and it works for her. Anytime that she writes whatever intention that she's writing, she usually does affirmations, I think. So she'll write the affirmation and she'll do it 5 times or whatever her like thing is. And almost always it ends up coming to fruition. That works for her. It doesn't work for me, but I know what does work for me. So you got to find out what works for you. No matter what, at the end of the day, like for all of us, mindset is key. We have to address our mindset. We have to reprogram our mindset, get rid of those blocks, find out how you personally gravitate towards releasing those blocks. Some of you might really, really love, journal writing. Some of you guys might like scripting. I'm not a fan of scripting, but I am a huge fan of journal prompts. So anyways, that was just my side note. Now, I'm just going to quickly go over the questions that are inside of the workbook, just a couple of them, just to get your brains working, okay? The first question that is in your workbook is, who are you today in this very moment? So what I was talking about, remember when I was talking about myself when I was going through Catherine Zankina's program. At that time, I was not where I wanted to be success-wise with my online business, with what it takes. And I kept putting these goals up for myself, having really high, monthly goals, whether that be like monthly, Instagram follower goals, monthly monetary goals, whatever those look like, okay? At that time, I was at a certain point, and I was just Amber Tallarico, right? But in order for me to manifest this success that I wanted, I had to show up as that version of myself. Because just so you guys know, that version of yourself exists. It's just a matter of how long it's going to take for you to get there. When we start doing this quantum leaping effect of currently acting that out now and acting as if it already is there, it's going to be a matter of, instead of that success point taking years to hit because it already exists, it's already going to happen, versus a month, a couple months, maybe a year instead of several years, maybe even a week, who knows? Manifesting in the universe, like, it can be real crazy sometimes, like real crazy. I have literally experienced, doing manifestation techniques specifically with money, and things have showed up like immediately, and like random ass things too. There was another thing that I did earlier this year, is I wanted to manifest working primarily with like men's grooming, and I wanted to assist a celebrity men's groomer. Not even kidding you guys, a week later, I ended up connecting with a celebrity men's groomer. And if you guys know anything about the men's grooming space, it is hard, almost impossible, to assist a men's groomer because they typically don't need assistance. They're men's grooming. Like, that is all that they're doing. They're just putting a little bit of makeup on, some skincare, a little bit of hair, maybe some beard trimming. That's about it. Now, unless they have something that's really big, like an ad campaign where there's a ton of guys. Chances are they don't need an assistant. So it is very hard to get into that industry, just to like throw that out there. Literally 1 week. Okay. So it works. It works. Another question is for you to define what your success looks like to you. And then the other thing too, just like a little side note. Well, I'm not even going to say it. Another question that is inside this the workbook, is for you to name your alter ego. Name that. What would you name your alter ego? What is your name? The successful version of yourself that is already doing everything that you want. Put a name to it. And every single time that you start thinking about that goal, ask yourself, what would Amber fucking Tallarico be doing right now? What would she be doing right now? She wouldn't be sitting on her ass. She wouldn't be binging on Netflix every single day. She wouldn't be scared to post. She would just fucking do it. You see what I'm saying? It builds a certain momentum, a certain self-confidence, because it's almost like you kind of go outside of yourself to get this energy, right? It's really, really cool. And then some questions inside your workbook about some limiting beliefs. I want you guys to really take these questions and answer them in-depthly, right? Because trust me when I say, the more in depth that you can answer these questions, the more it's going to come up. Sometimes whenever I ask, when I answer these questions, when I went through certain programs that have these questions inside them, it was very eye-opening. I was like, whoa, oh my gosh. So like when I defined what success looked like to me, and then I wrote like where I'm at right now, and I realized the disconnect, I was like, oh, okay. I know what to do now. You see what I'm saying? Thank you, Elisa. She says, I love your alter ego name. Thank you. I think, to be honest, I think I even named myself at one point Badass Bitch Amber or something like that. Okay, so that essentially is all of the mindset training that I have for you guys. About 3 specific things like related to mindset and perspectives that I wanted to bring to you guys so that you can know what is possible for you. One thing that I didn't say that I meant to say is that if you think about it, anybody that is, think right now in your mind, or feel free to put it in the chat. I would love to hear from you guys what your biggest goals are in your career. So the biggest goals, not for just this week, but in general, like for your career as a whole. What are some of those big goals that you have? The thing that I love, what I'm about to share with you, is how it puts this in a really cool light. Whatever that success goal looks like for you, whatever that goal looks like, those big goals that you have for yourself, ask yourself this question. Second, is somebody already doing it? 99.9999999% of the time, that is always a yes. That very small percentage, like some of you guys might have some really fucking dope like business ideas or like product ideas or something like that. Like, don't get me wrong, there's obviously those moments, and of course, like own that shit. But chances are those goals that we have for ourselves, somebody is already doing it, right? So then the third question is, why not you? It's already possible. The universe has already showcased that it is possible. Honestly, the fact that there was like the ocean was on fire last week or whenever that was, literally showcases that anything is possible. Obviously, I know that there's some like, scientific stuff, like something about the oil, but still, we literally saw the ocean on fire. That doesn't even make sense, but it happened. So that to me means the things that we never thought were possible are now possible. Fire can be on top of water somehow, right? And be completely encompassed by water, the ocean of all places. So with that said, when that happened, I remember like being really like taken back by it and confused, but then it kind of hit me like, wow, like if that's possible, I sure as hell can have $1 million business, or I sure as hell can make $50,000 in a month if I really wanted to, if I really, put myself out there, because shit, there's fire in the water. Like that would, a month ago, people would have been like, that's crazy. That doesn't even make sense. Like that's not possible, but it is. You see what I'm saying? Going back to everybody that is doing that is currently doing what you want to do, just means it's already possible. And it directly means that it can be possible for you. 1, if you allow it to, and 2, if you align yourself for it to happen. So getting rid of those blocks, doing some mindset, things like that, setting yourself up for success is essentially what it is. So last thing I'm going to talk about is the day one challenge. So for those of you guys that are in the upgrade, you are eligible for the day one challenge, and we will be announcing the winner tomorrow on day two. So day one's challenge or homework challenge is to share your biggest takeaway in the homework thread. And I actually need a, whoopsies, that's a typo. It's not in the Facebook group. It's in the Kajabi support community. So you'll see the thread that's for the homework thread. So you're going to share what your biggest takeaway was on that. Okay. So, and then you can also, if you don't want to do it inside that Kajabi, that's totally fine. You can share your biggest takeaway on your Instagram stories and just make sure that you tag us. Anybody and everybody can be a part of this homework challenge, just to like throw that out there. However, the only ones that will be eligible for the prize are the ones that are in the paid upgrade. So if you want to do that, if you want to be a part of the prize, we literally have really amazing prizes. Definitely sign up for the upgrade. Okay. So like I said, in that workbook, there's resources for you. There's books. There's some breath work, the Revelation breath work link that they do classes like every single week. They're amazing. And they usually give you a free coupon for your first time. So definitely check that out. Kundalini, I kind of grazed over just for a second. Kundalini, I love it so much. Brett Larkin is my personal favorite Kundalini instructor. I actually did my yoga teacher training through her and did continuing education specifically in Kundalini. So I learned from her, and she has a very modern edge on Kundalini. Kundalini, if you're not used to, Kundalini, the true practice of it, it can be intimidating. It's very like you're kind of chanting in Sanskrit mantras, and so it's a little like the first time I ever did it with Guru Jaret, and she is amazing. But it was like, whoa, what is this? And because I come from like a Catholic background, and so it was very like, what are we saying? I'm kind of scared. But Kundalini yoga is is seriously the most beautiful yoga. Besides yin, I'm obsessed with yin, but Kundalini is my favorite type of yoga. And Brett makes it a lot easier if you are more of a beginner, and it's not as aggressive as the traditional Kundalini yoga. So that is it. I'm going to go ahead and open the chat if you guys have any questions, but that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions about anything that I went over? Feel free to share in the chat. While that, you guys are kind of preparing any questions that you have, I'm just going to go ahead and say that anybody watching the replay, please, share your thoughts, share your comments throughout the video with just down in the comments. I would love to hear from you guys. If you are in the upgrade, you can, start threads and start different conversations over on that community page. So you can connect with one another, talk about the topic that we went over today, maybe share some breakthroughs that you had. Something that's really, really helpful and really, really powerful is when we share our breakthroughs with each other. So definitely take advantage of that community page and share some breakthroughs that you had and things like that. So yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and answer anything that comes through. This is different. We usually do these with Facebook, but last time there was some really weird stuff going on with Facebook, and Facebook just in general has had like really weird issues. And so we decided to do this through YouTube instead. It's a lot easier, but there is a little bit of there's like, I think, a longer lag than the Facebook one. So just dealing with that I'm just going over some of the content, or I'm sorry, some of the comments, seeing if I missed any. Yes, you're welcome, Sadir. You're welcome. I'm so glad that you felt like it was a great day. Sadir, I'm almost positive you were with us last time too, right? I feel like I remember you being with us in the May boot camp. So I'm glad that you felt like it was a great day. Yeah, I think that it's safe to say there probably are not any questions. If anybody is watching as a replay, you do have any questions, feel free to just comment in the comments below. Or if you're an upgraded participant, you can do a comment inside the Kajabi support community. Oh, it is? I feel like, whoa, there was another person that had the same name as you, because I remember that name and the spelling and everything. Cool. Well, welcome, Sadira. It's really, really amazing to have you for your first time. And I'm glad that you had a good first day. And yes, once again, if Olive is still on, just sending you or like shouting you out once more. Congratulations for winning the day one prize. Just a little, yes, amazing first day. I love it. Thank you, Lisa. But yeah, so Olive, I will be reaching out to you for your address to ship you your day one prize. And that's it, you guys. I am so thankful that you guys are all here. I can't wait for day 2. Tomorrow, we're going to be going over all things marketing and specifically social media marketing. So it's going to be a big day. It's going to be a lot, but it's going to be a good one. And to be honest, you guys, I'm going to break a lot of fears that you have around showing up, visibility, and self-promotion. So it's going to be a really great day. I can't wait. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. See you later. Bye.